Okay, so let's be honest, it's very difficult to motivate yourself to learn English or any other language that you're learning if you do not have an urgent need for that. So how do we actually motivate ourselves to actually start taking action to improve your English? The quick answer is to find an urgency. So find something urgent that will push you to actually start taking English seriously. And how do we do that? Let's talk about that in this video.
Hey guys, before we return to the video, I just want to tell you that ESA is now open for application. So if you are a professional or an expat who need to urgently speak English in your life, make sure that you check this out because it's going to be super interesting. So go on the website, click apply now, and we will get in touch with you if you guys are a fit into this program. So back to the video and enjoy.
Number 1, start posting content online. If you're on social media, you already have some level of following, I think it's good to start from here. If you don't have any following, it's just like, let's say friends or coworkers or family or whatever, also start posting content online in English. When you post stuff online, people are going to see it, and that's going to give you some level of accountability. You can actually start telling people, okay, everybody, I'm gonna start posting English language videos for the next 30 days. Now people have seen your video, you have declared your goal out loud, so you don't really have that much reason to back out. Saying it out loud to everyone gives you responsibility to show up, because if you don't show up, maybe you're going to feel a little bit embarrassed that you don't follow up with your words, and you don't want that, right? So if you are someone who is pushed by these kinds of external motivations, then go for it. Tell the world that you are going to post a video for 30 days starting today, and you can't back out. And actually make a promise to yourself that you are going to stick through this project until the end of 30 days. If let's say you don't really feel like speaking out loud in a video and your goal is more about writing, then go for that. Like write on either Instagram caption is possible, or also you can go on Medium or any other websites where you can post your writing online, but actually post it online and tell people about it, so that you have that level of accountability. So there you go, that's the first way to create urgency to start motivating yourself to learn English. Number 2 is to set a hard deadline. So in the beginning of the year, it's very common for people to say like, by the end of the year, by December, I'm going to be fluent in English. But it's very often the case that you forget about this goal and you just don't follow through with it. This is because this is a soft deadline that you have for yourself. If instead you have a hard deadline to achieve something by, let's say, a certain date, it's going to push you a little bit stronger than just having a soft deadline, quite vague. By the end of the year, by December, you're going to be fluent in English. So how do we set a hard deadline? So one way for you to do it is to actually schedule an IELTS or TOEFL or whatever English exam that you can find, and actually pay money for that. Also, because if you pay a lot of money for this exam, you're basically, you have skin in the game. You're already financially invested. So think about it. If you pay, I don't know how many million rupiahs for an IELTS or TOEFL exam, so the more expensive the exam is actually a lot better, especially if it's so expensive to the point that it breaks your heart a little bit for spending that amount of money, because that is going to push some action out of you. Because you're going to think, I already spent this amount of money, it would be such a waste if I don't take advantage of it. So there you go. If you have the means, challenge yourself to actually schedule a TOEFL or IELTS exam that you can do later this year to follow through, so that if let's say you only have 3 months until that exam comes up, you only have 3 months. It's a hard deadline, so you're going to be a lot more focused yourself and say to yourself, I only have 3 months to improve my English, I need to take this seriously. Number 3 is to plan a trip. So I understand that this is not feasible for everybody, for all of you guys who are watching, but if this is actually feasible for you, it's possible for you to plan this, go for it, because this is also going to be a powerful motivator for you to start taking English seriously. Well, of course, it's better if you plan a trip to a country or to, let's say, an island, let's say Bali, where you can start using English more consistently, where English is like the main language of communication in this place. Because then, of course, in this trip, you are going to be forced to start speaking English, especially if, let's say, in your daily environment, you don't have that many chances, that many opportunities to speak English with people around you. You're also going to see these, let's say, 1 week or a 2-week trip as an opportunity that you're not going to get so often. So you want to take advantage of this scarcity. And let's say if the trip is going to happen in a month's time, you're gonna have to commit this 1 month to start pushing yourself to take English more seriously. And the last one is look for career opportunities. So if, let's say, you're already working at a company where there is an opportunity for you to go abroad or to get into a department where you're going to have to speak with a lot of foreign stakeholders or foreign colleagues, go for that. Actually apply for this position, because again, these career opportunities that will probably more likely give you a raise in salary becomes a much more powerful motivator than just telling yourself, I would like to work in a multinational company someday and I need to learn English. So from this point on, start looking for that, because then once you start taking actions of just looking for an opportunity, this goal of working at a multinational, international companies becomes a lot more real. And of course, that sense of reality will push you to action as well. Because if it's just kind of like a vague goal that you have in the future, kind of like, I would like to work for an international company someday, it's vague. It doesn't give you that strong of a push. But if you start looking right now, go on your computer and look for positions that requires you to speak English and apply for that. And then let's say, luckily, you will be asked for an interview, that's going to be a better push. So there you go. Those are the 4 things that you can do today to create a sense of urgency to start taking English seriously. Of course, some of these may not be possible for you because of some life circumstances or financial circumstances. If that's the case, then of course I have a lot of respect for you, and maybe it's just not the right time for you to start, improving your English. But once you're at a stage of life where you can afford to do, to have this sense of urgency to take your English to the next level, you should go for it. So I hope you learned something new, you got something valuable out of these videos. If you do, give it a thumbs up and comment down below. As usual, I will see you next week in another video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.